The 54th Council meeting announced no major changes under GST, but it provided important clarification, highlighted RCM, and unveiled the invoice management system in the GST portal. Hello everyone, I am Parminder Kaur from Team WebTech. In this video, I will explain the important decision of the 54th GST Council meeting, including new rules, rate amendments, and more. So stay tuned, and before starting this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel WebTech Electrosoft for regular compliance updates. The 54th GST Council meeting took place on September 9, 2024 in New Delhi. The Council took note of the agenda on the enhancement being made to the existing GST return architecture. These enhancements include the introduction of the invoice management system, reverse charges mechanism ledger, and input tax credit reclaim ledger. In invoice management system, now to avail the correct ITC, taxpayer can take the action of the accept, reject, or keep pending invoices. It is an optional facility to reduce the error in claiming ITC and to improve the reconciliation of the ITC. It is expected to reduce the notice issued on the account of the ITC in mismatch in the return. In an RCM ledger and an input tax credit reclaim ledger in the GST portal, these updates aim to enhance the current GST return filing process. Additionally, taxpayers are advised to declare their opening balance for these ledgers by 31st October 2024. The RCM to be introduced on the supply of metal scrap by unregistered person to the registered person, provided that the supplier shall take registration as and when it crosses threshold limit, and the recipient who is liable to pay under the RCM shall pay tax even if supplier is under threshold. A TDS of 2% will be applicable on the supply of metal scrap by registered person in B2B supply. To bring renting of commercial property by the unregistered person to the registered person under the RCM to prevent the revenue leakage. The GST Council recommended to roll out of a pilot of B2C e-invoicing after the successful implementation of e-invoicing in the B2B sector. The Council recognized potential benefit of e-invoicing in retail, such as improved business efficiency, environmentally friendly, cost efficiency to the business, etc. It would also provide an opportunity to the retail customer to verify the reporting of the invoices in the GST return. The pilot will be rolled out on voluntary basis in selected sectors and states. Now, the GST Council recommended the insertion of the Rule 164 in CGST Rule 2017, along with certain forms, providing for the procedures and the condition for availment of the benefit of the waiver of interest or the penalty or both, relating to the tax demand under the Section 73 of CGST Act pertaining to the financial year 2017-18, 2018-19 and 2019-20. The benefit is available if necessary. Tax payments are made by the 31st March 2025. The Council also recommended to notify that on 31st March 2025 as the date on or before which the payment of tax may be made by the registered person to avail the said benefit. The issuance of the circular to clarify various issues related to the availment of waiver of interest or the penalty or both. So related provision will be effective from 1st November 2024. Preferential location charges paid along with the consideration for the construction services of residential, commercial, or industrial complexes before the issuance of the completion certificate would form part of the composite supply. Since the principal supplier in this case is the construction services, the PLC charges will attract the same tax rate as the construction services. Therefore, the tax treatment for PLC will be the same as the construction services, provided that the PLC charges are paid before the issuance of the completion certificate. The flying training courses approved by DGCA, that is the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, who is the regulatory body in India responsible for ensuring the safety and regulation of civil aviation in the country. They conducted by the Flying Training Organization, now which is exempted from the GST. The affiliation services provided by the Educational Board, such as CBSE, are taxable under the GST. These services do not fall under the exemption provided to the educational institution. However, a decision has been made to exempt affiliation services provided by the state, central education board, educational councils, and similar bodies to the government school prospectively. This means that affiliation services rendered to the government school will be exempt from GST for the future periods starting after this decision is implemented. For the past period from 1st July 2017 to 17 June 2021, the issue is to be regularized on an as is where is basis. This implies that any GST paid or collected on these services during this period will same as it was without retrospective changes or refunds, essentially maintaining the status quo. A clarification is to be issued through a circular stating that the affiliation services provided by the university constituent its colleges are not exempted under the ambit of the educational service. Therefore, GST at the rate of 18% will be applicable to these affiliation services provided by the university. This distinction made it clear that while certain affiliation services are taxable, an exemption is provided prospectively for the services to the government schools, and the tax rate for the university college affiliations remain applicable. Clarification regarding IGST refund on export when inputs were initially imported without GST payment. In cases where inputs were imported without payment of the GST by availing of the exemption or benefit under the scheme, and if IGST and compensation sales were later paid along with the interest and followed by reassessment of the bill of entry, the refund of IGST paid on export should be considered proper. Prospective omission of the Rule 9610 and Rule 894A and the Rule 894B. Exporters have been facing challenges because these rules restrict their ability to claim refund on exports, especially when availing exemption on import. By omitting these rules with prospective effect, the government will simplify the refund procedures and remove the hurdles for the exporters. The omission will enable exporter to receive faster refund on IGST paid on the exports, even if the inputs were imported under the exemption schemes but the taxes were subsequently paid with interest. Simplification and expanded refund procedure. These clarification and the proposed removal of the restrictive rules will provide relief to the exporters, ensure that their refund claims are processed efficiently, and eliminate unnecessary complication in the cases where tax payment have been regularized through reassessment. Place of supply for advertising services provided by the Indian Advertising Company to the foreign entities. Input tax credit on demo vehicles for vehicle dealer. Place of supply for data hosting services provided by the Indian providers to cloud computing services providers outside India. So Honor Crack says the advertising services and the data hosting services provided by the Indian company to the foreign entity will have the place of the supply outside the India and qualify as a zero rated export, meaning no GST is charged on the supply and input credit can be claimed on or refund sought. For demo vehicle used by the vehicle dealers, ITC can be claimed if they are used for the business purpose. The supply of the research and development services by the government entity, research association, university, college or other notified institution fall under the exemption. Issue pertaining of the GST on life insurance and health insurance. Review and analyze the GST rate on life insurance and health insurance services, assess the current tax burden and its impact on policyholders, and evaluate the need for revision or exemption to make the insurance more affordable. Study the future of compensation says. Submit the final report till the October 2024. The state that will represent are Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Karnataka, Kerala, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Meghalaya, Goa, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Punjab and Gujarat. Clarification on auxiliary intermediate services provided by the Goods Transport Agency GTA. Composite supply in the course of the transportation when the GTA provides auxiliary or intermediate services such as loading, uploading, packaging, unpackaging, transshipment, temporary warehousing, etc. in the course of the transportation goods by the road, and the GTA also issues a consignment note, these services will be constitute a composite supply. Ancillary intermediate services as a part of the composite supply. The ancillary services mentioned such as loading, uploading, packaging, unpacking, transshipment and temporary warehousing when provided as part of the transportation of goods by the GTA will be treated as the part of the composite supply of the transportation service. Separate invoicing and non-composite supply. If the ancillary intermediate services such as loading, uploading, packaging, warehousing, etc. are not provided as the part of the transportation of the goods and are instead invoiced separately, these services will not be treated as the part of the composite supply of the transportation service. I hope you have understood that it is important to regularly review and update the current rules and power of GST compliance and communicate these to taxpayers. The recent introduction of the GSTR 1A is a beneficial feature for taxpayer. Hopefully, these easy amendments can simplify GST compliance. For better comprehension, check out the blog link in the video description box and share it with your friends and colleagues. If you found this video helpful, let us know in the comment section. Also, you can comment if you have any doubts, give a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next Tuesday, we will come up with another interesting video. Till then, stay safe and stay tuned with us for better compliance and enterprise journey.